Hi folks, welcome to another episode of Pete's Kitchen Garden. I wasn't sure whether to do a video today because I've got quite a lot of stuff planned to do over the next few days, and hopefully the garden's going to come on quite a bit over the next week or so. So this is more like the sort of before, do a video again in a few days. It's a beautiful evening, it's sunny, but don't be fooled by the sun because it's been absolutely freezing. I've also had my first disaster of the year as well, and I'll explain a little bit about that a bit later on in the video. What I have done today, see this border here with the wallflowers in front of the veg patch, that actually had a large sort of, if I can get my finger in shot, it had a large slab of concrete across this part, which I've took out. It's there, I had to break it in 3 pieces. But now I've got a nice straight border, I've got some compost dug in, and I've bought some bedding plants to go in here as well. So we'll have some marigolds, what else have we got? Some pansies and some dianthus will be going in there. Just really to sort of create a bit of colour, but also as a bit of a, you know, hopefully the scent will put any pests off or anything. It'll tend to deter them away from the veg beds, in theory at least anyway. And then this border here that you see running across the top of the grass, I've got some shrubs and evergreens and things, and also some bulbs that are going to go in there. So the idea is that the one here is probably going to be sort of bedding plants, and I'll probably sort of redo that every year. But this one's going to be sort of evergreens and bulbs, so the idea is that apart from a bit of weeding and pruning back, it'll sort of take care of itself. So onto the veg beds. This overwintering garlic's really coming along now. The leaves are a bit yellow, but to be honest, I've seen other people's in other YouTube videos, and they seem to be the same. It's definitely not got spots, so it's not rust or anything, and they're still growing strongly. The other garlic next to it, the one that I planted in February, I think. Onions, all starting to fire. There is actually a row of onions in this second bed here as well. They're just starting to come through, but I don't think you'll see it on here. Those beetroot haven't germinated yet. It's not quite been 2 weeks. It has been very cold though, so I suspect that's probably got something to do with it. I'm just going to quickly take you over to the... I'm sorry about the wind. It's probably quite loud actually. I don't have a sort of proper, you know, microphone or anything, so I am sorry about that. I hope you can hear me. Should get a bit better when we go into the polytunnel in a bit. Potatoes doing alright. I've just actually watered them and closed this cold frame back up again. Just a note actually, on all these pots and everything I've got here, I've ordered the decking, and that's coming on Monday, and I'm going to lay it down Tuesday. So once that's here, we'll be getting all the pots up on there, up on the decking. I've also ordered, you might remember me moaning about this plastic horrible compost bin in one of the earlier videos. So I've ordered a silo, like a sort of square, I think it's about 1 metre square, maybe a bit more actually, about the size of a pallet. You know, just an open silo made out of wood that I'm going to do my compost in. Last year I just did my compost in a pile in the corner and it was absolutely fine, so yeah, I'll be using that. Strawberries, nothing much, they're growing but slowly. Obviously it's still very cold. Got my nets there ready for me sugar snap peas to go in. And this bit here, my son and I put some seeds in there a few days ago. We did some cress, some radish and some salad leaves, and basically what's happened is that very night a cat's come along, dug in it, done its business. So I've removed the cat what's it, and I've left the seeds in. I mean, they'll be all over the place. I don't know where anything's going to germinate now, but I'm going to leave them to it. I don't need that space for anything else, so we'll just see what happens. These carrots are starting to germinate now. This is a full row here, but I actually put the rest in a couple of days later, so that's probably why only half the row's coming up. But they're poking through. We had some snow the other day as well. It doesn't seem to have harmed them too much. No change on these potatoes. These were not put in that long ago, so the main crop's over there. Nothing much going with that. The herbs are growing nicely though. Definitely getting a good bit of growth on them. So into the polytunnel. Right, I'm just going to... I don't have a tripod. I'm just going to try and close this to sort of keep the noise out. Try and keep the wind out a little bit. Just a little side note on the cats, actually, before I sort of show you around. So I've got some of this stuff, because absolute bane in my life, cats. Get fed up with them. So I've got some of this stuff from B&Q. And basically I've scattered that in the beds, all over the lawn. And to be honest, when I sort of get down to ground level, I can smell it. So if I can smell it, the cats certainly can. We'll see if it works. I don't know. It's worth a try for a few quid. Right, tomatoes. Oh, these are coming along nicely. We had a really cold night. It was about -2. Not last night, night before. And I had my first disaster of the year, which I'll tell you about in a bit. But the tomatoes were unharmed, and as you can see, they're all putting some nice growth on. What I have done with these is I just sort of came out here yesterday and removed any leaves that were touching the soil. Apparently, if you have any leaves on your tomato plant that are touching the soil, get rid of them, because that can cause disease. You probably notice also in here as well. So I've got some of my evergreens, the border I was talking about. So Euonymus, lovely, lovely foliage. I absolutely love Hebes. So we've got two varieties there. One's Bronze Glow and the other one Forest Flame, Forest Fire, something like that. I'm not going to try and get down there to look at the labels, but I do like Hebes. I think they're lovely plants. Another Euonymus. I hear everyone pronounce it Euonymus, but there's no R in it, so Euonymus? I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't really matter, does it? It's a nice plant. And a couple of Pyrrhus as well. I also like these as well. You know, lovely flowers. One there, one there. Look at them leaves. It's funny, you know, because to start off with, I was sort of only really interested in veg, never interested in growing flowers, and I don't know, I just fancy having a go now. You know, it helps to keep a lot of things away from the veg, and it's nice to have a bit of colour in the garden. Speaking of colour, I've got these 50 garden bulbs. So these can be planted out really any time now, well, sort of May onwards. So they'll be flowering well into summer. And then what I'm going to do when it gets to autumn is I'm going to put some spring bulbs in, you know, some daffodils and tulips, things like that, so we can have a bit of colour all year round. Everything else is doing pretty good. Black Magic Kale, I've thinned those out. I'm going to let them grow probably to sort of double the height they are now, and then I'll get them potted on. And these spring onions and lettuce are doing okay. I've actually done a bit of an experiment here. You might get my finger in shot. Where am I? Might notice we've got things missing from here. I'll show you where I put them in a second. Leeks. These are actually starting to get you know, pretty decent now. Actually, they're doing all right. I mean, there's quite a lot of moss in this pot, but I don't think that's going to do them any harm. But I don't think I really need to thin those out. I think all I'm going to do is when they're ready to go out, I'll just literally take them all out of the pot, separate them. I've seen people wash the roots with water, you know, to say I might do that this year. The brassicas that we potted up are coming along nicely. They were all upright when I potted them up, but some of them, I don't know why. Why do brassicas grow sideways? I mean, what's all this about? I don't know why they do that. But it's just something that they do when I plant them out in the garden. I'll put them upright again. The peas are germinating. You remember me, I think I spoke about those in the last video. So they're in the gutter in. We'll just slide those out into the bed outside that's got the net in. Cucumbers coming along nicely again, untouched by the frost. I did have fleece over everything in here that particular night, so the only thing which was damaged was the peppers, which I'll come on to in a second. There's another lot of lettuce and spring onion that I put in. So this is the red and the green lettuce. I always get the names mixed up actually. I know one's Bijou, but I'm not sure which is which. Anyway, doesn't matter. Spring onions, white Lisbon and Fiorio, the red variety, doing alright. Sturgeon's still growing away at the back there. Still haven't decided what I'm going to do with those. Some more leeks. And actually, you know what, looking at these, I mentioned in the other video that I put these in first, and really they need to be in a deeper pot, which is why I've got the pot over the other side. Now the ones in the pot were sown later, but they're starting to get bigger than these now, so I think I'll probably get rid of those, to be honest. I don't know, we'll see. And oh, there's some more peas that I put in there, but again, yeah, I thought I'll do them in modules, and then I changed my mind. So you know, they'll probably come out at some point, or there can always be backups if any of the others fail to fire. Right, I was showing you over here these gaps that we've got. What I've done, because I'm not convinced in this compost, which has got a lot of seed compost in, that they're now getting the nutrients they need, really. So I thought, right, what I'll do is I'll take some of them out and just pop them into some compost, and they're roaring along. The red lettuce, since I put those in them pots, you know, they've really come along, so it's sort of proved my theory. And I thought, well, you know what, I'll put a clump of the spring onions. You wouldn't normally transplant them until they're ready to go in the ground, but I thought, you know what, I'll try one, not get anything to lose, see how it goes. And look, they're looking stronger as well, so it was definitely worth it. I might do the same with the others. Now, peppers. Let me tell you about peppers. So you remember the last video, I had 6 pepper plants in here, and they were all doing extremely well, until we had the -2 degrees night. I came out here, and they'd not been frostbitten, but they were drooped. Every single one of them just drooped. They looked in a really sorry state. I took them inside for the night, put them on the kitchen windowsill, gave them a water, no good. So I've just bought 3 plants. I struggled with peppers last year actually, and they weren't from seed. They ended up getting eaten, but I'm bloody determined to grow some peppers because we all really do like them. So we'll see how these go. I was talking about the bedding plants in front of the veg beds, so dianthus. Got these pansies, beautiful colours, and some marigolds. Quite a lot of marigolds actually, because I've been told by a few people that they really help keep pests and slugs and things away from your veg. In fact, a lot of people plant them in amongst the vegetables in the bed. Well, I'm not going to do that this year. These are just going to go in the border at the front. But you know, we'll see. We'll give it a try, see how it goes. What gardening's all about: trial and error, experimentation. Yeah, whatever, Pete. Russet brassicas, they're just the sort of spare ones that are left. Radish, roaring along, as you would expect with radish. These beetroot are doing alright now as well. I remember that I had to move these over to free that bed up for when the cucumbers go in. And I thought, might as well do it sooner rather than later. I think these have had a little bit of a... odd ones had a little nip from the frost. You know, but if you look at the leaves, you know, and the new growth is healthy, so I think we'll be okay with these. And these 4 lettuce, which are doing okay as well. And I think that's about it, to be honest, guys. So yeah, we went to B&Q today, and I say we've picked up a load of plants, and we've ordered some decking, we've ordered a compost silo, I've ordered some chip bark for the border. That's all being delivered on Monday, just in time for my day off Tuesday. So it's going to be a very busy day, and I don't normally do updates too close together, but I probably will do one on Tuesday, because I'll have done a fair bit out here. So there you go. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching this video, and if you like what you see, please do click the subscribe button. The channel's only just started, really. I've got 3 subscribers at the moment, so I'd like to thank those. I know one of them's my little boy, my son, but I'd like to thank the other 2 people who've subscribed. Much appreciate it. So thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, take care, and bye for now.